Hello, today is season 1, episode 10. Put a ring on it, dating with a purpose. I am your host, Carla Davis Luster of the Us Review. Here is where I discuss controversial relationship topics. I discuss both sides, giving the male and the female perspective. I always recap last week's show, which was season 1, episode 9. Blended family relationships. You guys really showed up, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you very much. I had some high numbers last week, so thank you so much. However, I discussed some of the main triggers that cause friction in a family unit. I also gave some statistics on the success rate of a blended family. It was very, very concerning. It's only 30%, according to my research. So I invite you to go to any one of my platforms, look for season 1, episode 9, and just go for it, okay? Or feel free to pass it along to maybe a friend, a family member, or someone you know that might need encouragement and might need to take a look at that episode along the lines of, looking at blended families, okay? So it's a lot of information in there. Please feel free to pass it along. So back to today, season 1, episode 10. Beyonce said it best. If you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. However, today I'm not just going to say the man needs to step up, because nowadays women are holding out just as much as the men, okay? Season 1, episode 10, Put a Ring on It, is also about everyone. Dating with a purpose. Our preface today is going to come from my novel, The Woman Tells, which I typically take my preface from The Woman Tells, chapter 10, page 102, paragraph 1. But before I start reading, I always like to show you my novel. Here it is. This is my novel that's newly released. I'm Not a Homeworker, Opportunist Maybe. You can see all the little promotional stuff that I have sitting here today. However, you can get both of my novels on Amazon. You can get it on barnesandnoble.com and on my website, which is askcarladl.com. However, I'm Not a Homeworker, Opportunist Maybe has also been put into the bookstore, Volumes Bookstore, downtown Chicago, the Bloomingdale's building at 900 North Michigan Avenue. I am so excited. It's on the 5th floor. For those of you in Chicago, you know where that is, you know the building. For those of you who are visiting or may visit Chicago, please take a trip down there. It's a wonderful place to shop, wonderful shops in there. But make your way to the 5th floor to the Volumes Bookstore and grab my novel. Okay. With that said, let me move on to reading the preface. It's going to, once again, come from chapter 10, page 102, the first paragraph. And it goes something like this. He continued with the reverse psychology tactics until I said, please stop with the bullshit. I know who you were talking to because you called her name while talking. Apparently, to get her attention because she was going off so badly. You also called her babe, might I add. Since when did you start to call your admins babe? If that is a practice, that's a serious human resource issue that you can have trouble with. My suggestion would be to stop. However, I doubt very seriously you are calling your admin babe. Remember, I was your admin at one point. Okay? Regardless of how attracted you were to me, you remain professional at all times. I think you have some things to sort out. In the meantime, I think we should separate. I'm moving out. Go get it, y'all. It's a page turner. Go get it. Go get it. However, today, this is season 1, episode 10. Put a ring on it. Dating with a purpose. With that being said, today I'm going to talk about 3 different things, basically. But first, what does dating with a purpose actually mean? Dating with a purpose or dating with intention simply means knowing what type of person you like and knowing what expectations you have for the situation. So before you start kind of making demands and putting labels and all that kind of stuff, there are a few things and some personal homework I think you should, do before you start, once again, putting yourself out there. You need to be clear on what your expectations and what you actually want and like in a person. Here's one. You need to be authentic. Lose the front, because you won't be able to continue it. Because no one can keep that up. Okay. You can't keep up a facade forever. And here's another thing. You don't want the person that you're trying to get to know putting up a facade and you're really not learning who they are. So, right out the gate, you want to be authentic yourself. So if you're expecting that, you need to do it yourself. It's only fair to the person that you are dating that they know what they're getting as well, okay? Do you be authentic? Several weeks ago, I got to say, I spoke on Is Your Love Mutual? I invite you to go back and watch it, season 1, episode 4, because in that episode, I talked about a lot of things about love. How do you know when a person loves you? I just gave a lot of information. You need to know or educate yourself on what real love looks like if you don't already know. Most people do. You have that gut feeling, However, why do you need to do that? So that you can weed out the BS right up front. You know what you like, you know what it looks like. Then all the stuff that's coming at you that's not for real, don't waste my time. Why waste time on something that's not going to last or it's not what you want? Now, let me say this. This is only if you're dating with a purpose or dating with intentions on possibly this person being your future. When you say put a ring on it, that's the person that's going to be with you in your future. Now, if you're just like dating for fun and not, like really serious or whatever, this is not this conversation, what I'm having. I'm talking about someone that's trying to get serious and looking to get married or put a ring on it. I'm starting from the beginning that there are some things that you need to do before you really start, making demands. It will help you. Once again, I said to go back and watch season 1, episode 4, Is Your Love Mutual? Help you to identify red flags from the beginning, to keep you from wasting time. Here's another one. Be willing, like when you're going through all of this and you're dating people, be willing to have tough conversations on your expectations and don't settle. Some people settle because they're just, so happy to have a person. And I say this in a lot of my episodes, but don't be willing to settle. Have the tough conversations, state your expectations. So when you find that person that's meshing with you, there are no surprises on either side. Like I said, be authentic, be yourself, do you. State your intentions up front. There is a lot that needs to transpire before you can start putting labels on stuff and making demands and before you start talking exclusivity. There are some questions and things you need to do and need to be clear on before you actually move forward with the exclusivity. Here, right now, I want to rattle off a few. If you would like, the few that I am going to rattle off, I do, once again, I do a lot of research. I do have a checklist of them. So I will say this, if you would like the checklist, please DM me on my IG or subscribe to my YouTube channel. If I see that you subscribed, you can drop me your email or whatever, how you want to get it, and I'll send it to you if you are interested in it. It is a great thing because I like looking at a lot of tools. And then I will say, in the future, I'm going to be running a campaign where you will be able to get my relationship color palette assessment guide, where you can take the test and quiz. You've probably seen it out there. Some of you may have taken it, scan the QR code. However, it goes a little bit further. It gives you some percentages and gives you a little bit of breakdown and some overviews of personalities that's in it. And in the future, I will be trying to get you guys to subscribe to me, please, on YouTube to get a free guide or whatever. And then some of these programs, a lot of these programs that I'm doing are out on YouTube as well. So once again, hit me up if you would like the checklist at Ask Carla. You can also email me at info@askcarladl.com. So here goes. Let's rattle off some of a few things, and they're very minor, but the checklist is very long. So I'm only going to do about 3 or 4 of these, and then, hit me up, or, you can look it up, Google it. Are they, the person that you're dating, that you're trying to get serious with, are they consistent and emotionally available? And some of the stuff that I'm saying is just a repeat from some of the other episodes. It's because stuff is like, it's no new news, it's no new things, it's just consistency. Are they consistent and are they emotionally available? Are you always reaching out and they're not available and they're not in tune with you? Do you feel relaxed and accepted by them? How do you feel when you're with them? Does it feel like it's right? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you guys are gelling and connecting? If not, typically your intuition do tell you a lot. So follow that, pay attention to it. Do your values align when you guys are talking, and just the way they talk on their goals, or do they even have any? Just the way they talk about future, do they want children? And are you guys aligning with the things that you want? Are you sitting there dating with a purpose and dating with intentions to possibly get married? and they're just sitting there dating you because they ain't got nothing else to do. You're not aligned. Okay, so an alignment is very, very important. Is this someone you truly want to be with, considering the good, the bad, and the ugly? Because every relationship is going to come with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Are you going to be able to deal with it? Because every relationship comes with their brand of stuff. Is it the brand that you're willing to buy? So keep that in mind. Do you resonate with their level of maturity? Are they mature enough for you? Do your sense of humor line up? So there are a lot of things that you want to be looking at and preparing yourself, and not just jumping out there saying you want somebody to put a ring on it and you really don't know anything about them. Once again, hit me up, DM me. I'll give you the checklist. It's got a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff to look for. So please do that. Once again, subscribe. I'm going to say it again. Subscribe, DM me for the checklist. Now, once the groundwork is laid and you are comfortable and you are sure on what you want and sure about this person that you've dated or whatever, you've been dating a few minutes or whatever, and you like them, your next step is becoming, possibly, depending on how long you've dated and how well you guys feel about each other, the only next thing to do when you're dating and you are dating with a purpose, the next step would be to become exclusive. I'm not saying exclusive meaning getting engaged. Exclusive meaning that you guys are then putting a label on it. A lot of people ask, how long should you date before actually getting serious? Or when should you put a label on the relationship? My boyfriend, my girlfriend, my man, my whatever, whatever you guys are calling it. I guess at this age and for a long time, I've not liked the term, "Here's my girlfriend." First of all, I'm not a girl. So, but whatever you're comfortable with, the label that you guys decide on, the next step is, the exclusivity. First of all, what does exclusive mean? And you want to understand that, and you want to make sure that you and that person have the same definition, because that could become, very serious with, if you're not on the same page and you don't think it means the same thing. You have two different definitions. What does and should that look like? Basically, it simply means that both partners agree to focus on each other and not see other people. Never assume, oh my God, never assume you are exclusive without having a conversation and both of you agree. Don't be like, let me throw this out here, that comedian, and she was being funny. I doubt very seriously if this is how she conducts her life in person, real life, okay? The comedian Melanie Camacho, I don't know if you guys have ever seen her. She had this joke that she was saying, if you hit it twice, then we go together. No, that's a recipe for you to get your feelings hurt. Okay, so please don't follow that type of a thing. You don't ever want to assume. Have the conversation to know where you stand and who you are to them and who they are to you, and you guys are on one page. Ask the question again and again. Does this mean, what it means? So once you have clarity on that, you guys have deemed that you a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever you're doing. This is my man, this is my lady, this is my friend, or however you're labeling it, whatever. Just make sure that you guys are on the same page. Get to know, and this is where you start your journey. You start getting to know each other over time. And I say over time because some people, there is no time limit, and I'm going to talk about there is no time limit to saying it's time to move to the next level. Okay, we've dated for like 2 weeks, now it's time to move to exclusivity, and now it's time to move to engagement. No, people, there is no perfect time for a commitment. That's because timing varies based on the situation, the time period, and the person. And you guys all have to agree. You all have to align. I just talked about alignment, and you have to assess it for yourself whether or not the timing is right for you. And keep in mind, it can't just be right for you. It's got to be right for the both of you, because you're in this relationship together. How long you are willing to wait is your timing. Okay. Let me say this. Psychologists, when I read, say 2 months is good enough good enough to say it's time to become exclusive. I don't necessarily agree with that. I do the research and stuff like that. And it's not to say that I agree with everything that I read, okay? It's just merely these people have done research and have gathered, have surveyed people, and typically surveys are 100 people plus, it could be less or whatever, but this is just the majority of what a particular group they surveyed that may have been the majority. That's what the majority said. Okay. However, they say 2 months is, good enough, to have the exclusive conversation. I personally disagree. I think it's within people's timing. And I think time brings about a lot of information. Let me share a quick personal story. And this one is about me. Tune in, take a listen. So years ago, I was dating. We were going out and stuff like that. I'm going to say going out because dating, going out. Okay. So one day we had been going out for close to a year. And one day that person, and I'm not giving any names or anything like that, I'm just telling the story. And this is to make a point, was looking for me. I was unavailable because I was at another event or out with another friend. And keep in mind, and let me say this, people think when you say dating, when you say, this, that, and the other, that doesn't necessarily mean you can date 1 million people. It doesn't mean that you are sleeping with a million people. Let's be clear on that. I think people get, confused on that. So with that in mind, and with that said, I was out with another friend. We had gone to an event, and the person that I, had been going out with or whatever, was trying to reach me, and they could not because I was out, So when I got home, finally I returned the call and, hello, how are you doing? That started, and where have you been? I went to an event with a friend, and I called off the name, and they were like, the phone went silent. And I'm like, hello, are you okay? You went with a guy, and I'm like, yeah, because I don't date girls, so yes. And yeah, I had, yeah. It's a friend like you. And so needless to say, I'm going to get to the point, whatever, that conversation went whatever, but it led to the exclusive conversation. Now I wasn't calling, returning a call to have the exclusive conversation. And honestly, I'm not sure how much thought I had put into it. Needless to say, when that came up and I got questioned or whatever else, I was saying, my whole thing was that, let me be clear with you, I enjoy the time that we have together. We do, we've been doing a lot of things together. However, I don't just necessarily, if I see you out with someone, I'm not just going to run up on you and what are you doing out or whatever, because we have never had an exclusive conversation. Now, if you'd like to have that now or whatever, then that's fine. And if this is something that, that you're interested in, and I had to be interested in it, which I was, then we can do this, but it's got to be a mutual thing. And I'm not going to assume anything. So is this the conversation we're having? We had that conversation and we became exclusive. However, I did not just assume. So that is a story to tell you. You do not assume. You have that conversation. So keep in mind, once you are serious and you feel this is the one, there are things that should be clicking before you go on to the next phase. Like, let me say this, we've had that conversation and stuff like that. And let me say the next phase is, okay, we didn't put a label on it, we ain't put a ring on it yet, but we have put a label on it. So some of the things that, before you move to me, put a ring on it, you have to build that trust, that commitment. You have to, start gelling. You have to be connecting, and you're just feeling this, and you're getting that sense that, this might be the person that I can spend, the rest of my life with, or you're feeling that you guys have like moved through, the trust and the commitment and, conflict. How are you going to handle conflict? Because you're going to have it, no two people are the same. And somewhere along the lines, you're going to have conflict. Sex and intimacy, these are some things that you didn't get exclusive or whatever else, you are actually, you're working through this relationship because it stands a chance of being, your forever. Work and money, what are you doing with that? These are just things that you need to be paying attention to. Looking at family, what are your values around that? Meeting their family, where are they coming from? Fun and adventure, growth, spirituality, do they want children? Do you want children? Before getting to that point where, it's time to put a ring on it. The real truth is that there is no right or wrong length of time to wait to get engaged. Some couples, according to some of the research and some people that I know, I guess even myself, I have waited years before deciding on marriage. It's not just, it's not a time limit. The timing depends on you too in your situation. Some people do it within 6 months. I personally think that once again, it all depends on your unique circumstance. The real question or the concern should be, is this the right situation and are we ready? Just, putting time limits on stuff. It could be that, sometimes things are just premature, that you are like trying to jump ahead and, I want this ring on my finger. I've been dating them for 6 months or 3 years or six, according to the research, once again, some people have dated 6 years, whatever's comfortable for you. If 6 years aren't good for you, it's not good for you. But if the person that you're with is not ready and they want in 6 years and you're not, then you gotta make some tough decisions. You gotta have those tough conversations. And at some point, it may be a situation where you have to move on, and this is not the one. This is not the thing. One is, one may be trying to move faster than the other. And it's not to say that could not have been the right person or could be the right person. It may just be, you may be premature. You may be more adventurous and doing this than they are, and they're not at that place yet. However, it's not to say that they won't get there. You have to be in sync. Keep in mind, the worst situation in the world is to have someone verbally commit to you that's not ready, okay? That's not ready or not feeling your situation, or they're just flat out lying to you until the next best train comes along, meaning that, they ain't got nothing else to do. I'll just listen to a gravel, she cool in this and cool in that, but, something else come along, I'll move on, and I've heard, it's funny because friends of the family, my sister, I will say, one of her friends' father told them, if a man, the first year, he's dating you, the second year he's getting to know you, the third year, if you haven't put a ring on it, then you need to move on. I didn't totally agree with that, because once again, it depends on your situation and how mature and what do you have, how well is your situation put together, and are you ready? Time with the person, to me, just allows you to find out things, their history, and that's very important. If you're able to do all of that in 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months or whatever else, God bless you. But once again, I don't think you put time on love. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Let's talk about some statistics. According to Pew Research Center analysis of the National Survey of Family Growth, the share of Americans who are currently married have declined over the decade, okay? People that are getting married or people that are already married, that are married, it has declined. In 1995, just going all the way back to 1995, 58% of Americans were married, as opposed to currently today, it's 53%. That still sounds, huge, because it's over 50% of Americans are married. However, it is decreasing. Currently, I'm going to give the breakdown, because those numbers that I'm giving you is for everyone. However, the breakdown, and I'm going to go by age. This is based on age. I want to say ages from 18 to 29 that are unmarried is 55%. Who get married between 18 and 29 is only 45%. Okay, from the age of 30 to 49 that gets married is, that are unmarried is 52%. That wind up getting married is 48%. From the ages of 50 to 64, unmarried is, I want to say it is 45%. That get married is 55%. And from over the age of 65, who's married is, I want to say 35%. And then I guess it said 65% do wind up getting married. I've heard all these stories about some of the elderly that's in the elderly home, that they're kind of like bouncing around doing the do or whatever it happens. And I was like so disgusted. I was like, what? That's what they do. I mean, I guess they like, hey, ain't got nothing else to do, and I'm at this age, I might as well do what the heck I want to do. But very interesting. So with that being said, let me give you some more statistics. Living with an unmarried partner have risen from, it used to just be 3%, it's 7% of Americans, they're saying, are living unmarried with someone. People who have ever lived together unmarried, the ages 18 to 44 is like 59%. So that's just saying that between the ages of 18 and 44, they are somewhere between the line. 59% of those people have spent time living together unmarried with someone, which have passed the percentage for ever being married. So that's a higher percentage than for ever being married. They said it was 50%. A lot of statistics, right? Last marriages that last, that actually happen from dating apps. Let me say this. This is when I talked about Tinder several weeks ago on one of my other episodes, but marriages that happen from like people going on those dating apps and meeting people and dating and stuff, and like according to Google, only 13%. So those of you who are on Tinder and all of those MySpace, or I've seriously never ever been on a dating app, and that's not to say who goes on there, whatever, that's your thing. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But according to the statistics, if you're on the dating app and you're on there, today is season 1, episode 10, Put a Ring on It, Dating with Intentions and Dating with a Purpose. It's saying that it's only 13% that actually stay together, and actually people that meet on there get married. You have a better shot at, doing it the old fashioned way, I think, going to the club or whatever you do, go to church, going out to dinner, or just existing and just meeting someone. It sounds like you got a better chance at doing it. Once again, I spoke about Tinder a while ago and in one of my earlier episodes, and the percentages. Here's a percentage that was very concerning. There are people that are on Tinder that are married, that are faking the funk to meet people. And that percentage is even higher than the percentage of people getting together and getting married on there. That percentage was over 20%. So there are married people out on Tinder that I'm repeating, that are out there perpetrating, meeting people just to date them, I guess ruin their lives. And, they're just on there. So be careful is all I'm going to say about that one. So those are some statistics that I wanted to throw out there today. With that being said, so if you are single and you have aspirations of getting married, your chances, of getting married after 65 are probably greater. It's a joke, than earlier years, because they said the percentage after 65 is 65% that you would get married to someone. I guess you have nothing else to do. You find someone that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, go for it. In conclusion, if the person you are with has a different timeline from you, or if they don't share your same marital aspirations, or have not put a ring on it and you think that they should have, then maybe they are not for you, is what I'm going to say. My personal opinion, you shouldn't have to ask a person when are they going to marry you or put a ring on it. That's either male or female, because once again, I said that females are out here just as tough as the guys, doing the same things that the guys are doing. In some cases, they may very well maybe doing you a favor by saving you some heartaches by not doing what you want them to do right away or whatever. They may be doing you a favor because you may jump into something they weren't ready and you coerce them into doing it, because they didn't want to lose you, and you find out that you guys are not compatible. So that's not cool. However, there are so many couples that I see coming into my store every day, mailing off wedding invitations and stuff like that. People are still doing it. I just think, once again, some of the statistics I gave you is that the dating apps are not safe. Maybe they are, maybe they're not to you, but you have a better chance of doing it the natural way. Learn to be content with yourself, okay? You need to learn how to control your own happiness. Your partner should not be the one that's in control of your happiness. They should only be the icing on the cake, not the cake, okay? If you allow someone else to control that, according to statistics, you have a great chance, over a 40% chance of being unhappy and being heartbroken. Marriage is for some, not for all. Keep that in mind. Like some people are meant to be, married or whatever, there is no magic or script to getting someone to marry you. It's just a matter of dating. You guys fall in love. Things come together. You mesh and you do it. The magic is in your connection from the first date to the altar. So with that is today's show. Season 1, episode 10, Put a Ring on It, Dating with Intention. So hopefully I gave you some information. You may have been looking for the show to go a little bit of a different way, but once again, it's all about you, what you like, your timing, and how well you move forward. Once again, this is the Us Review. Today was season 1, episode 10. I'll say it again. Put a ring on it. Dating with a Purpose. I'm Carla Davis Luster, your host. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my platform, across my platform at Ask Carla. Check out my website and purchase my novels at AskCarlaDL.com, at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And for those of you in Chicago or visiting, like I said, you can also get them at the Bloomingdale Building, 900 North Michigan Avenue, at the Volumes Bookstore on the 5th floor. And until next week, I'm looking forward to the next topic because it's going to be a juicy one. You guys try to create an amazing day. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.